So Shoe0nHead made this video, and here's the thing: we just reacted to the Grok companion stuff. This video says the male loser epidemic. I think she's talking about me. I think this video is about me. Let's see let's see what she has to say.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way.
True.
Welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe0nHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but
well, now that Elon Musk made the Grok 4 companion, that's gonna get worse. We're gonna have dudes that are subscribed $30, I think 30 or like to $50 a month for this AI companion that's gonna be on their phone that can dress in lingerie. It's yo, guys are cooked. We are absolutely cooked.
But turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Why are they always talking about me? Why are they always talking about me? These girls got to stop thinking about me, man. They're always thinking about me. These girls always thinking about... They always talking about me, right?
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it.
True.
But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news
like
from
an Asian
all
woman
across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot.
It's probably
feature,
not an Asian
shows
outfit, but it sort of reminds me of like a cheap house.
One side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York, this left-leaning outlet...
I just saw a video today that Andrew Cuomo, because he lost the Democratic primary, he's coming out as an independent thinking that he's gonna win. Look, that guy didn't do really well at all during COVID with a lot of old people, you know, to put it lightly, right? A lot of old people probably don't like what happened. It's because unfortunately they're no longer with us, and people will not forget that, especially at what Andrew Cuomo did, man. But I don't think Zohran, I don't know how to say it, Mamdani, I don't think that person's going to be good for New York, but it is what it is.
It says Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes.
Yep.
I've been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my
Have a good night,
word
Night,
for
Take it easy, man.
Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to
$5?
brown.news
Good, that's actually pretty good.
/shoe, or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there.
That's a good
to
deal.
subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really
Asian people
important,
like good
especially
deal.
right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now, let's get back to the video.
Should have skipped
With
it.
all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men.
Yep.
And I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have
true.
unveiled
That's
their
true.
final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holding up in
Like a lot of my friends who are like younger, who are like 28 and younger, I believe that would count. That's what's count. Yeah, 28 and younger who basically count as like Zoomers. A lot of them that I know voted for Trump is because they think he's funny, and they're not the like most of them. They think he's funny, and they just like the shit that he's been saying, and they don't really care about Joe Biden at all. They don't really care about Kamala Harris. It's like, oh, they just think he's funny. Whether or not they voted for him or not, that's another question. But a lot of them I know. I asked my brother because my youngest brother, he's 28. And I asked him, like, what do your friends think about Donald Trump? Like, are they going to vote? He said that they don't really vote, but like if they are going to vote, they will vote for Trump is because they think he's funny, right? So there it is.
luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename Sam, or Speaking with American Men. A strategic
that worked,
plan.
right?
Promises
Obama,
to use
that
the
worked, right?
funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party...
That's cringe, right? Like, and that's the reason why, like we can see that shit from a mile away whenever you're, like, we're playing a video game and when we see, like hard insertion, that sounds very, very adult, but hard insertion of like politics or like woke ideology, we see that shit from a mile away, right? It doesn't matter how big or long or short the insertion is or how thick it is. We see it from a mile away. So like, we're not going to want anything to do with that kind of crap. And that's what a lot of these woke video games, a lot of these things that have that kind of stuff, like people don't play those games. People just go play, I'll just go play an older game. I don't like this game. I'm just going to go back and play Fortnite or whatever it is, right?
Is treating young men like exotic animals.
Yeah, Pokemon Go to the polls. That's
now,
true.
As you can see here is the young man in his natural
She used Asmongold. She's using Asmongold as the freaking example. That's the first time that Asmongold drank water in such a long time. I remember this clip very, very well.
habitat in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see, also
Destiny.
dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates, but...
Yeah, it did. It scared off his wife, and his wife basically was like, basically on stream was like dancing with another dude. That was weird. That was very weird.
Moving on, here is another...
Oh, Nuxanor, Nuxtaku.
We think, we're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should I don't know, actually listen to men? I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. Shoe0nHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th.
Man, true.
Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Oh.
If you're Asian, that's not going to be a problem, right? It's not a problem when you're an Asian, is because of size, you know. Yeah, I can relate. I can't relate to that. I can never get it stuck in anywhere, is because it's too small.
Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's it.
But the stats don't bear that
That's
out.
retarded. Okay, here's the thing. If you had a mandatory class in like middle school or high school, that how to teach men not to be sexist, a lot of them will not go to that class. They will cut class. They will ditch class, and they will be more bigoted because of it. They'll be more sexist and more bigoted because of that. It's because we don't like being told what to do. And the people that like being told what to do are often male feminists or gay people.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
And who caused the feminization of men? Feminism. Women allowed that shit to happen. It's not our fault. You guys said that, oh, we like men like that. We like male feminists. We like gay boys and femboys and shit like that. You guys did this to yourself, all right? You guys wanted that shit to happen. Oh, why don't you be more emotional? Show me your emotion. Bitch, you don't want to see that. It's your fault. You guys did this to yourself.
There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing, though. Do you know how much money you can save living at home? Especially with housing, like house prices, like gas, and like just cost of living being so expensive. To be honest, if you can live at your parents' house as long as possible, in my opinion, I would say do it. You're going to save so much money. Absolutely, man. You're going to save so much more money. I know it sounds cringe. Oh, you should move out, be independent. Fuck that shit, man. Here in California, you want, especially in Southern California, you want a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. Like, that's like $1,900, man. Good luck. That's like $2,000. And that's for at a shitty area. If you want a really nice one, like $2,500 to $2,700 minimum. Good luck with that, man. And your minimum wage is $20 at like McDonald's. You want to work at McDonald's, right? Making $20 an hour. Good luck finding a girl who will date you, right? Because a lot of them have high standards. A lot of these 3s and 4s out there have like standards for like 9s and 10s. And these girls don't deserve that shit. So fuck them, right? Stay at home, save as much money as possible. And when you're ready to move out, start dating and then move out then. In my opinion, that's the best thing for you to do. It's so fucking expensive.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrat
Video games are cheaper than women? Yes. Grok AI companion is cheaper than bringing out a girl. That's why it's done for women. That's why it's done. Here's the thing though. There is a male version coming out like in down the line. So we're not sure how that's going to be for men. But the thing is, we have an AI companion Annie on Grok 4. And it's like, I think it's like 40, like I think 30 to like $50 a month. That's cheaper than going out on a date with a girl. And remember, there are girls who are like, Red Lobster? Nah, man, I don't do that. Oh, freaking O Spaghetti Factory? Nah, I don't do that. Freaking Cheesecake Factory? Nah, man. No, fam. You gotta take me to a 4-star restaurant, bro. You gotta take me to Roof Chris. You gotta take me to Morton Steakhouse. You gotta take me to Mastro's. You gotta take me to a fucking steakhouse, man. I don't do that. Bitch, you'd be lucky if I get you fries from McDonald's.
Are spending $20 million to relate to young men. This came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because
here we go. They're
better
talking about me.
To talk about men's issues
They're
than
talking about me.
Stupid blonde.
As you can tell, I'm living in my mother's basement. All right. So when I told you guys I have a son, I have a wife, and I have a house, all lies. That's all fake stuff. I'm actually still living with my mom. All right. Yeah. Look. I told you that I own a Tesla. Nah, man. I own a '97 Toyota Camry. All right. And I have to change the batteries for it. It makes a weird noise when it starts. It is what it is. All right. I'm not rich. Right? I miss a gay boy that lies. I don't have a wife.
Bimbos. Hold on one second. 3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel.
Oh.
See? I do
Monster
drink it. That one's for you,
Zero.
Tectone.
It's Monster Zero. No, that's a white one. No, zero sugar. Yeah. Yeah, girls don't like boys, girls like cars and money. That's true. That is true. I'm a cheap boy, right? I'm not rich. I'm a cheap boy. I drink Rockstar Zero, what's this? Calorie free. That's what I drink, right? Because I'm too poor. Because Monster is way more expensive.
It's a major problem. And, you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is...
Here's the thing. My brother, he's a golf coach. He's living at home with my mom, and he makes $4,000 a month. And I believe he works like 4 to 6 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day, $4,000 a month. Cash. I'm saying that my brother is doing really well. He's doing really well. He's living at home. He has enough money to he has a Model 3. He has a model. He has a Model 3, and he's living at home with my mom. I'm saying that like he's saving a lot of money. Here's the thing: is he dating girls here and there? Yeah, they are. But the thing is that he does not require to move out until he gets married. Right? According to my mom, he does not require to move out until he gets married.
Also a big problem
pretty damn
when it
good.
comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families.
Yeah, you girls want to marry and have kids and stuff like that. But the thing is, you girls, well, this girl's pretty hot. But I'm talking about these girls that wants to have kids, wants to get married and shit like that. You guys want like fucking like top G type of like lifestyle, right? And the thing is that like the dating scene is very, very different. It's very hard right now, especially with the amount of like the amount of stuff out there like that the girls want and stuff like that. A lot of regular guys just can't provide that for you, right? So what's wrong with like living at home with your mom, right? I don't think that's an issue, right? And the thing is that like you're also there, you're taking care of your mom too, so I don't think that's an issue at all.
But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Declining birth rates are women's fault. It's 100% women's fault. Do you know why? Because they want to be boss ladies. They want to be boss bitches. All right. Oh, I will just become a boss lady and continue working into my 40s. And then when I become boss lady, boss bitch, then I go look for love. And then by the time you look for love, your eggs are expired. Good luck. And while that guy who's been living in mama's basement can still be fertile until they die. All right? Girls have a limited shelf life. Guys don't. All right? So if you girls want to actually do that kind of stuff, like actually do it. Don't just talk the talk, man. You guys actually need to do that stuff. It's because my brother, he's 28. He's not even in his prime of his life yet. By the time he gets to like prime, like he's in his 30s, he'll probably be making well over 6 figures a year. And then you are still probably trying to become a boss lady. And I'm not talking about this girl in particular. I'm talking about girls in general, right? You want to become a boss lady, and by the time you reach that boss lady era, your eggs are expired. You can't have a family anymore. Now, there are women who are, are getting pregnant at an older age. People who are like in their early 40s who are still getting pregnant, right? We have IVF. That's actually like a very, very good thing that's happening right now. That there's better technology that will potentially have more, people that can have more families and more babies and stuff. But making fun of Gen Zs, oh, you're staying at home and living in mommy's basement, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One guy, because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back?
Septum piercing, pink wig. She nailed it.
Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, f you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
They're tribbing. That's the actual word, right? It's not scissoring. It's not scissor me timbers. It's tribbing. The actual word is tribbing, all right?
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
So here's the thing. How about if they're making a shit ton of money living in their mom's basement? Right? Let's say Asmongold, he's not living in his mom's basement, but he's living in the attic, right? He's living in the second floor. He's a multimillionaire, but he's still living at home. Do you see what I'm saying? I think a lot of these people, you can make a lot of money staying at home now. Being being a top streamer is very, very rare. Very, very rare. But let's say if you are making like $2,000 to $3,000 doing whatever stuff, but you're working from home, or you're doing, you're still living with your mom, I think that's fine.
Either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently, or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No?
Nope.
Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. If you're a woman and you come up to me and you tell me, hey, you should do this, you should do that, You shouldn't stay in your mom's basement. You should go out and get a job. You shouldn't be this. It's like, do you have a penis? No. No penis? If you have no penis, I don't want to hear from you. All right? No penis, no opinion. I don't want to hear it. You don't know what the fuck it's like. You're not me, bitch. You haven't walked in my shoe. Who gives a fuck?
Age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a fucking boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers. But when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But
I didn't even get to talk about that. You guys heard about the Brad Pitt one, right? Where this girl, like, this lady, this like widow or something, like this older lady, gave a lot of money to AI Brad Pitt. I just found out last week there's one of Jennifer Aniston. There's this guy who was duped of AI Jennifer Aniston. That's why you don't go on Facebook, man. A lot of old people on Facebook. A lot of people get duped on Facebook, man.
some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man. And they pretend it's a paradise that they earned.
But cheap
I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat?
Damn, that's true. That is true. I guarantee you, any woman out there, if they're like, would you want to be a stay-at-home wife, a trophy wife, stay-at-home trophy wife, a stay-at-home mom, and I take care of everything, I provide everything, I do everything, most of them will say yes, right? The ones that say no, the reason why they say no is because it's not enough money. Let's say if you are a multi-millionaire or even a billionaire and you're like, do you want to stay at home while we, like, of course, they're going to absolutely say yes because they're going to live their own lifestyle, whatever they want, right? It's because the thing is that they're not going to publicly come out and say it. It's because it's going to look bad for feminism. It's going to look very, very bad, right? But yeah, it's wild. Yeah, this is crazy.
There's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same.
I know people who don't, like, for me, like I used to not want to have kids, right? And the reason why is because I said that I'm too selfish. I'm too selfish, and it's because I want to worry about myself. I don't want to worry for another person unless it's like my wife. But worrying about another thing, it's like I want to, like two dual incomes, no kids, right? The dinks and shit like that. Like I used to be one of those guys. I'm like, oh, I don't want any kids. I want to focus on me. I want to travel the world. I want to do whatever I want. And the older I got, my I guess my view on that completely changed. And I'm like, I would want something. I do want to take care of someone, right? And I feel like if I don't, like, I feel like, like I will leave nothing behind, right? I just feel like I just feel hollow if I don't do that. Like eventually, and of course, like my dad, like sort of, in a way pressured me, giving me, he's like, oh, where's the legacy and stuff like that. And then the reason why he's saying, oh, it's like, what, he's like, hey, Felix, if you don't have children, the legacy die with you. And I was like, what legacy? He's like, my legacy. I was like, oh shit. Don't hit me, Dad. I'm sorry I failed algebra twice.
Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
Yeah.
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But
and the crazy thing is, like, I asked my wife this, right? I asked her, I was like, okay, because she wanted to become a storyboard artist, right? She wanted to be a like a really cool storyboard artist that works on this like big show and animation or movie, right? She wanted to work at Bento Box for Bob's Burgers. She wanted to work at Disney, Warner Brothers, and stuff like that. And then and we had our kid, we had our son, and I asked her, I was like, given what you know now, if someone offered you your dream job, your like dream salary, everything that you wanted, but we don't have our son anymore, like would you like knowing that like if you would have like two options, right? Would you take, like, knowing that 100% if you went down the artist route, you will get everything you want, right? Versus right now, you don't have your art job, you don't have any of that, but you have a kid. And she says that no, like absolutely not. It's like this is like exactly what Shoe said. It's the best decision she's ever made, and it's such a it's because people don't know that, right? People will be like, oh, I'm gonna lose my agency. I'm not gonna have my own shit anymore. Like I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to travel the world and stuff like that, right? And like for me right now, like it's completely different now. It's like when you have a kid, when you're taking care of them, you see them grow and shit like that. It's 100%. I would give everything up like to have this experience. So I'm not saying that people who don't have kids, if you guys don't want it, it is your own choice. But if you are even slightly considering it, I would say definitely go for it.
yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
It's
this
women.
is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you.
I would say it's both. I would say it's both. It's because you want a specific and particular lifestyle. You don't want your lifestyle to get any, I guess you would say if your lifestyle is at an 8, you don't want it to go to a 7. You don't want it to go to a 6. You only want it to go up. So your expectations and whatever you value is so fucking high that you will not meet a guy in the middle. Right? So, and the thing is, most of these girls wouldn't even give these guys a chance at all. Right? So why would we give you a chance? Like, why the hell would we do that? I just feel like I think social media, like TikTok, Instagram and stuff like that, has ruined a lot of these Gen Z women, thinking that they are like cream of the crop. They have a lot to offer and stuff like that, right? If you are willing to give up your agency of being an independent woman that makes a lot of money into being a housewife, would you do it? And would you sort of like meet the guy in the middle, right? Because the thing is, she probably thinks she's a 10, right? Oh, I'm a 10. I shouldn't lower myself. I shouldn't lower my expectations for that. And if that's the case, then you're good luck finding a guy that meets all of your criteria. It's going to be very, very hard. And the thing is that the longer you wait, the faster your eggs are going to expire.
It's not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So,
yeah, that's true.
No,
it is.
No,
it's absolutely it's a cultural issue. Here's the thing: the guys that she's dating are like fucking multi-millionaires because she knows she can get them. But the thing is that no matter what age you are as a guy, you're going to always want to go for a younger girl, no matter what, right? If you can pick and choose, you will always go for the 22-year-old. Doesn't matter if you are 28, 38, 48, 88. It doesn't matter. You will always go for the younger girl because they are better and they are more fertile. This girl, I'm not sure how old she is. She could be pushing 30, maybe early. Some white girls look a lot older than they usually are, right? So this girl, she could be like fucking 22, but she looks like she's like 38, right? Like 34 or something like that. But the thing is, if you are I only date athletes, I only date multimillionaires, I only date entrepreneurs, and like those guys, they can pick whoever they want. They can pick someone who's younger than you. Leonardo DiCaprio can pick whoever the fuck he wants, right? If you don't offer what he wants, you're done. So you have to find a way and not blame it on the men. You got to blame it on the culture, right? The society. You also need to blame it on society, and you also got to blame it on yourself, because the reason why you get a lot of feminization in men are because women allowed that shit to happen.
I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight.
That's sort of
Men are all
sexist.
trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider, that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man.
Here's the thing. If I'm going to go to war, put food on the table, bring home money, provide housing and situation for you, you better fucking provide something for me, man. You better fucking I come home, the food better be fucking warm. The food better be ready for me to go. And if I come home, the clothes aren't done, what the fuck have you been doing? Right? I'm going out doing all this shit. Here's the thing. A male's agency is what we can provide. Most of the time, guys, all we can do is provide. Because other than that, we are basically nothing. We have nothing. The cards and the ball is all on the woman's table. Guys have fucking nothing. All right? So if we're providing shit, we're doing everything else because that's the only thing we know how to do. You better provide every fucking thing else. I don't fucking care what it is. All right? Clean the house, mop the floor, make food, take care of the kids, do whatever you want. I don't care what it is. But the thing is that once I lose my agency as a provider of the house, I am fucking useless. I have nothing All right? You can pick whoever you want. But once I have nothing to provide, that's it for me. And that's the reason why guys are like, we're in a way, we're picky. We're super fucking picky. Is because we want to make sure that, like, if we're going to go into a dating situation, I'm talking about regular dudes. I'm not talking about the fucking, like, the freaking, like, femcells and the freaking, what's it called? The freaking, like, lady boys or whatever. I don't care what they are, right? What they call themselves. The freaking the freaking male feminists. Most regular dudes, if we can't do any of that, it's like, it's fucking over.
Protector and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame.
There it
These
is.
two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness, boomers are ruthless. Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this.
Yeah, what's it called again? I'm always pausing in such unfortunate moments. But the thing is, there's nothing wrong with your kid wanting to leave the house if they want to. For me, if my son wants to stay home, like stay at the house whenever he grows up and stuff like that, and he wants to stay inside the house, as he wants to stay living with us as long as he wants, he can. But we won't kick him out, right? If like the thing is that, like, as long as you're like continually like furthering your goals, you're making money, you're doing all that kind of stuff, like, we don't care. Like, if you're just like a deadbeat, stay at home and do nothing, then that's completely different. But if you're like making money, you're it's just like there's no reason for you to move out right now, is because you don't have a family or anything like that, then it's fine. It's perfectly fine.
And honestly, why the would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking for a woman who probably can't cook?
There it is, another one. That is true. That woman can't even fucking cook. Bitch, where's my sandwich? Where's my sandwich? Why is it cold?
Not me though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Dino nuggies? Look, okay, microwave, that's an issue. If you can oven it or air fry it, then that's now you're speaking my language. All right, if you can't microwave me Hot Pockets, if you can't heat up Tina's burritos for me, if you can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bitch, we're gonna have a problem. We are going to have a problem, bro. Like, I'm not asking you to make like a fucking gourmet meal for me, freaking 3-course meal. No, man. I'm asking, are the Dino Nuggies ready? Can you give me a soda? Can you give me a Capri Sun? Right? Can you get me a banquet meal that's now fucking $3 instead of $1? Can you microwave that for me? That's it. Guys are fucking simple. We don't need gourmet meals and shit like that. Get us like pizza bagels, freaking Totino's pizza. That's all we need, bro. Yeah, there it is. Look how good that is.
Unfortunately, Tommy Lauren isn't the only one pushing this stupid lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing.
See, and why do you think that, what's it called again? 29-year-olds playing video games all day, but they're also making a 6-figure income. Is that cool or not? Is that cool or not? right? It doesn't matter, right? Oh, you go stay at home. It's like, well, here's the thing. Are they making money? If you're just strictly just playing games all day, not making any money, then that's completely different. But if they're making money or they're just trying to like blow off some steam and they have a job, like it's fine.
Video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
You think it's that easy? The job market nowadays is so fucking hard. Just get married and have kids. It's like, yeah, with bitches like that fucking girl at first, every fucking where, it's gonna be hard. Fridges that are protecting the snacks thinks they're 10s. All right? These fucking double French door refrigerators that are protecting their friends who are snacks thinks they're fucking 9s and 10s. Of course it's gonna be, the dating scene is fucked.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? All right, strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies.
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring,
and illegal immigrants. Automation, outsourcing, and offshore work, and illegal immigrants.
And yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires
illegal
would rather
immigrants
have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones.
Yep, Sharon Osbourne. If we gonna deport the Mexican, who gonna clean my toilet? Who gonna clean my lawn? Ooh, if I deport the Mexicans, the last of the Mexicans, nobody gonna do the dishes. Hey, Maria, why aren't there the plates in the wash? Why are there the plates in the sink? It's all of them are like that, bro. These freaking people who are like, oh, we should have illegal immigrants here is because, you know, we need them here. Yeah, because you guys want to hire them for fucking cheap labor.
Who won't unionize rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders? That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while
and then we lost Perfect Dark reboot remake because the game would have sucked anyway because the main character looks like a man. The main character looks like Buzz Lightyear Pixar freaking Lightyear movie. Not the fucking the Toy Story one. The actual Buzz Lightyear movie. Like, oh my god, the jaw is fucking Jay Leno jaw. Jeez, I'm glad that game didn't finish, man. I don't care. They lied anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders.
Well, the thing is that, like, maybe those Indians smell better. I'm not sure. Maybe they smell better than the non-H-1B visa holders.
On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote,
I was against the H-1B visa
take a big
bullshit.
step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore.
It's because people will always work for their own benefit. It doesn't matter what it is. Most people who are like ethical and stuff like that probably won't do it. But a lot of these multi-billionaire companies and these like mega corporations, it doesn't matter as long as they can get the cheapest labor and it benefits them at at the end of the day. That's all it really matters. It's like, hey, we're gonna do this fucking like, hey, we're not doing that, but like, hey, we're actually doing that because we need the cheap labor. It's basically a fucking hypocrisy. Like these motherfuckers, they don't fucking care at all. They're just saying it to look good, and hopefully it looks good, but at the same time, they're hiring fucking cheap labor shit. And I think all of these companies should get investigated and stuff like that. And especially if they're hiring illegal immigrants, get them the fuck out and fine these companies. I don't fucking care.
It's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games.
Now where's Elon? Elon is making the Grok 4 AI companion named Annie that if you get her at least to level 3, you can actually have a spicy lingerie outfit. That's $50 a month. It's cheaper than bringing a girl out for a date. I'll tell you that much.
But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one.
Which brown people? The red dot brown people? Or the one that the what's it called again? The ones with the naranjas on the side of the street. Which one? Which brown people we're talking about? The dark browns or the brown browns?
The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards.
Well, here's the thing. They are taking the jobs because most of them don't want to work those jobs, right? It's like, where are all these good jobs and stuff like that? And they're coming here and basically working at these places for super, super cheap is because no one wants to work that job, right? So basically, it's not really taking your jobs, but it's like, oh, if you pay them more, then yeah, if these companies pay their employees more, then the actual American employees will want to work there. But why would we do that when we can hire illegal immigrants to come into the country and work for penny to the dollar? Why not? Right? That's what they want.
But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries...
The women like taking like freaking like desk jobs, anything that's super easy, anything that doesn't require a lot of physical activity, physical movement, they do that, right? The hardest day for them is basically deciding whether or not they want avocado toast for breakfast. That's the hardest day, hardest task of the entire day, versus I've never seen any girl that does like plumbing jobs. I've never seen any woman that actually do like legit like manual labor and doing a fucking like manual freaking like doing like a garbage person, right? Like I've never seen any of them do that kind of shit.
These are female dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher paying, higher position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about 1,000 more.
We call the person someone the plumber, which is actually a woman. It's super rare. And here's the thing: plumbers, electricians, garbage man, they get paid a lot of money. right? But what most women don't want to do is because it's gross, it's icky, I'm gonna break a nail. Shut up.
Annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage.
And is where that shit happens the most, right? It's like, these women are so focused on their careers, they're so career driven, and by the time they actually want to have a kid and get married, they're a lot older now. And by the time, like, let's say if me and like another girl that's the same age, we both started like looking at it, like we graduated from college at 24, we started going into the workforce, and then we get a job, and we both get to where we need to be. And like we become like managers, senior management, or like a CEO or whatever, or a boss lady or a boss man or whatever, right? And see, by the time that comes, we're about like 35 to 40, right? And that's like me being super nice, because a lot of people don't become like managers or like bosses until like they're like early 40s to even 50s. So let's say by 35, like both the man and the woman become the same like profession, same amount of money and stuff like that. And then the women start going to the dating pool. The women are going to try to look for younger dudes or older dudes, but the dudes will want someone that's younger no matter what, right? If they can pick, they'll want someone that's like in their 20s. It's because they can pick. The thing is that now you're in your 30s, your mid 30s, or maybe even late 30s, or even early 40s, right? Your eggs are going to expire. You're not going to be as desirable and stuff like that. So that's the reason why it's a fine line, right? You don't need to become a boss lady, give up everything, or put your family on hold, put your freaking marriage on hold just because you want to become a boss lady. Is because the thing is that what you can provide, a guy can provide. Like what you're doing, a guy can do it, right? But like giving birth, raising a kid, and that kind of stuff, like guys can't do that shit. So how about you stay the fuck home, make me a fucking sandwich, and I'll make the money? Why do we both need to make money? Unless you don't want a kid, but you do want a kid, but you're too old now. So I'm gonna go for a girl who's younger than you. It's that simple. It's Occam's razor. The simplest and most easiest path to the most simplest answer is the correct answer. And the correct answer is, it's probably best if you're gonna become a boss lady, you better like for sure know that like there's a chance of you not getting pregnant. There's a chance of you probably having a harder chance to get married than most dudes, right? Guys can get married really easily by the time, because if they have money, the girls will usually come flocking to them, right? It's that simple.
Challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women
crazy
without
bro.
a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything.
Wait, so the wage gap bullshit, it's fake then, right? Yeah, it is. There are more men working in jobs than women in general. So of course the freaking the ratio will be completely skewed, just because there are more men making more money than me. Yeah, because there's more men working versus women usually, especially when you're talking about a job that's like usually like evenly divided. So, but based off of that research, right? We're talking about there's not really a wage gap then.
At the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider,
yes,
but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about...
It's crazy that like a lot of those like those hot teachers. Why? There were no hot teachers for me when I was growing up besides one. All of them were like old and fat.
The graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew.
I wonder why that happened. I wonder what happened here.
Very closely up.
I wonder what happened. What happened in the late 60s, early 70s? What happened there? I think something has to do with like maybe women entering the workforce in droves. Maybe, right? I think just maybe.
Until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happen around 1972?
I wonder what it is.
Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce
there it is. It's so simple. Yeah, of course, women joined the work. You're gonna have more people, then you're gonna have less money, less jobs and shit like that. Now you have to fucking fight against girls and women for those like office jobs and stuff because they want to be boss bitches.
This time, but we don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never before seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primaries. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it.
And the reason why they voted for him, it isn't because that he's crazy or he's a crazy socialist or whatever. The reason why people voted for him is because they're fucking tired of the status quo. And the status quo is fucking Democrats being fucking Democrats, right? They're tired of that shit. And that's the reason why they wanted to change, right? And I believe New York almost flipped red in some places, right? But it didn't. It's because they're like, we want the same thing, but we want something different. So they wanted the status quo to change, but they don't want the Democratic status quo to change. So they got rid of the old guard and brought in someone new or someone fresh, right? Whether or not you like it or not. AOC was one of those people. AOC was not a part of the old group of people that ruled over New York. She's a fresh new person. Whether or not you like her, it is what it is. It's because people are just tired of it, right? So that's the reason why. Same thing with Republicans. People were tired of the same old fucking Republican shit that we've been getting for the past like fucking 40 years now. So that's the reason why they wanted someone that's different enough where they're like, okay, this guy's running as a Republican, but like he's completely different from what we've been getting. That's the reason why people voted for Trump, right? It's the same. It's just the same, but it's the opposite side. It's that simple.
Down and start again. They want something that works for them because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. And all
and when I saw this woman nagging, this is my first time seeing this woman. When I first saw her, I'm like, she wants to be on blacked. She wants to be blacked. ED. By a bunch of like rich black guys. That's all she really wants. Is because she does not want anything less. She's like, I deserve the best. I want the best. This is my calling. I deserve everything. And we have a lot, and she can't blame herself, right? And all she can blame are dudes that are hanging out at home and doesn't want to do anything, right? It's people like her that caused a lot of dudes to just stay at home and do nothing. It's because of feminism caused this shit.
Too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boot.
Well, here's the thing. There are a lot of people enlisting in the military ever since Pete Hegseth took over. A lot of people. Like, it's not even close. What's going on? You crazy? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, a lot of people started joining the military because we don't have a crazy person that's wearing a dog mask being in charge of the military anymore. Right? So
Boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No, you can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. Because I know you gremlins love that shit. Bye!
I like slop. I like slop. All right. That's a good video. That's a good video by Shoe. I don't agree with her politically, but she makes good videos, and well, some stuff I believe, some stuff I agree, right? So there it is. Go ahead, and there's a link. Go ahead and give it a like. There's that video. And yeah, I think that the male loser epidemic was caused by women. I think they're always been caused by women. It's because it's a reactionary thing. Oh, if girls like strong dudes, all right, cool. We're gonna get buff and be manly, and all of a sudden being strong and manly became a bad thing. Oh, all right, you guys want femboys and like freaking like little incels. All right, we go ahead and do that. What? We're staying at home. We're being too sensitive. We're staying at home. What the fuck do you want? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And unfortunately, it's gonna take a while before it can course correct. It's gonna take a while.